Hi everyone, this video isn't a tutorial. It's not a step-by-step DIY. It's a story of how I ended up building something that was never planned, something that took days of my energy, so much of my time, and a lot of love. A cozy little playhouse for my daughter. This video is not a tutorial, and it's not a how-to guide. It's just a little story I felt like sharing. This house I made for my daughter. It wasn't planned, it wasn't perfect, and it wasn't easy, but it was filled with so much love and effort. So I decided, instead of explaining step by step, why not give this project its own story time? I didn't record the full process because it was long and tiring, and honestly, I wasn't thinking about content at that time. I was just following an idea that popped into my head. And now that it's complete, I want to share the story behind this special house. So if you're someone who enjoys real, raw creative journeys, stay with me. Let me take you behind the scenes of this little world I built for my daughter. I don't even know when I started making this house. Honestly, it wasn't planned. The idea just came to my mind one day, and since my daughter loves strawberries, I decided to make a strawberry house. I didn't have a reference, I just took a blanket and some PVC pipes and started building from scratch. My daughter used to have a ready-made tent, the kind you find online, but it broke. So I thought, let me make something better, something more permanent and comfy. I bought 2 blankets and some PVC pipes. That's when I realized there are so many types of connectors, T-shape, Y-shape. I didn't even know about all this before. I searched everywhere but couldn't find the Y connectors. Luckily, I had some from the old house, but they were too thin. The new pipes were thicker, so I overlapped and forced them in, adjusted it as best as I could. And guess what? It worked. The base was strong. I used hot glue and ribbon to tape all the joints, so even if the kids played rough, it wouldn't move or shake. Then I added a side wall that could open and close, like a flap. This way, if the kids want a bigger space, they just open the side and it becomes like a rug or a floor mat. At first, I thought 2 blankets would be enough, but the house in my mind wasn't a regular tent. I imagined something fluffy, cozy, dreamy. So I added stuffing and cardboard to give it structure. I even doubled the blanket layer, inside and outside, and of course I ran out of fabric. I bought a 3rd blanket, and still it wasn't enough. I didn't want to ask my husband for more, so I searched through my own fabric stash and found a brown fabric. Originally I wanted all pink, but when I tried the brown as the roof, it looked even better. So I made the outside brown and the inside pink. It turned out super cute. For the floor, I made a DIY mat from the same blanket material. I laid it on the floor, and on top of that, I added 2 more layers of blankets, one over the other, to make it look extra soft and comfy. Then I decorated the space with some pillows to make it cozy and playful. Honestly, I don't even remember how long it took me to make this house. I was working on it little by little every day. It's been about 8 months now since I finished it. My kids have been playing in it ever since, but I never recorded anything. I kept thinking, I'll film it tomorrow, but I never did. Then some visiting kids started ruining parts of it. So before it got totally damaged, I finally decided to shoot a video, even if the house isn't in perfect condition anymore. I also made small strawberries from old t-shirts to decorate the blanket, because I bought plain blankets on purpose. I didn't want any printed design. I wanted to create my own. Yes, all my strawberries aren't perfect. Some are cute, some a little off, but they're mine, and my daughter loves them. I wanted to do more, like butterflies, more plants, but honestly, I was exhausted. Then I made a mushroom, and it turned out so cute, totally surprised me. I also added a little DIY light inside. I already made a separate video on that, and a fan so they can turn it on while playing. I wanted a doll corner too, and a magnetic sheet where they could play with magnets. They love this house. They say it's their most comfy spot. They open the wall and play, sleep, roll around, like it's their own cozy world. I didn't film them playing, but just know, every piece of this house is my time, my energy, my heart. It's not perfect, maybe not the cutest thing to you, but for me, it's everything. And for my kids, it's magical. You know, before I made this big strawberry house, I actually made a small dollhouse using just a cardboard box. It was very simple, but I wanted it to be special. So instead of just cutting a small door, I made one whole side of the box open, like a full wall that opens like a flap. That way, my kids could play inside more easily, and it felt more interactive. That little cardboard house gave me a new idea. What if I do something like that with the real Playhouse too? So in this big strawberry house, I kept one side like that, one wall that can be opened completely. If my kids want to make the house bigger or turn that wall into a play mat or floor mat, they can just open it. And honestly, they love that part the most. Sometimes they sleep there, sometimes they lie down and read books or play with their dolls. It reminds me how sometimes even the smallest ideas, like a mini cardboard house, can grow into something so much more meaningful. It's not about how fancy or perfect things are. It's about imagination and how we build little worlds for our kids to dream in. This house might not look perfect. It has flaws, messy stitches, mismatched corners, but every little piece of it holds a memory. A day I stayed up too long, a moment I sat back and smiled, a night my daughter hugged me and said, "Mama, I love my strawberry house." I didn't build a structure. I built a space where imagination lives, where my kids feel comfort, fun, freedom, and love. If you're a mom or someone who loves to create, I hope this story inspired you in some way. And if you ever feel tired in the middle of a project like this, just remember, the joy on their little faces will make everything worth it. Thank you for watching my story. If you felt something while watching this, do let me know in the comments. I'd love to hear what you think. Until next time, stay creative, stay kind, and keep making magic with your hands and heart.